referees win the game. Congratulations, refs.
I don't even want to do this, Pish.
I can tell, yeah. It's, Magic losing overtime to the Heat, but really kind of lost to some of the worst officiating I've seen this year. Usually when we see bad officiating, it's bad both ways, and you're just like, oh, these guys are just terrible at their jobs. But down the stretch, it felt like they were just giving all the advantages to Miami, which is disgusting. You don't want to see it. You really hate to see it when there wasn't even a makeup call effort from them, which is upsetting. Our team deserved a little bit better than this, and just they weren't going to get it tonight. The fix was in.
I don't even know. I don't understand how we lose this game. Our bench outscores them 40-21. We are clearly the more talented team. Mm-hmm. They had a gentleman named Highsmith, and a guy named Bouye.
Yeah, they had some weird dudes coming off the bench. Our bench definitely outplayed them. And as this game got close and then went to overtime, it was like, we need this to get back to our bench so our bench can take advantage of what they have going on.
Yeah, I think right now I'm just talking. This is an indictment on the starters and their second half effort, because they came out good. We came out of this game to start the game really well.
Yes,
but late in the game, costly turnovers early in that third quarter. I don't think we scored a bucket for the first. It felt like 7 minutes of that third quarter.
Third quarter was rough. Definitely a rough start.
I guess the first half by 26-25.
In the first half, we built that lead with some of the best team defense I've seen us play all year. We were closing out on shots. Everyone was making their rotations around. It was great to see, and it's the reason we built that lead. It got away from that early in the third, right? And then they started to have open shots and open jumpers more in the second half. They picked it up a little bit defensively in the fourth to kind of reestablish the lead and stay ahead the whole game. Basically, Miami never had the lead until overtime in this game, which is one of those things where it's like, if you're going to keep giving them all these opportunities, there's too many moments at the end of that game where you're looking at it going, what? Really? What's happening? This is just absurd. They missed the foul on the Wendell rebound and then call that foul on Fultz. And then we go ahead and challenge the foul on Fultz when it's we really would love to have mentioned the fact that you guys missed, obviously, this other call. So I get why they challenge it, because they want to keep him off the line. Don't give him a chance for 2 free throws. But then he just makes the free throws.
I'm so thrown right now. I was writing my notes as if this was going to be a victory recap. I've got a bunch of positive things to say, and then I just stopped taking notes towards the end of the game. I mean, three huge missed calls at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. WCJ, as you mentioned, was absolutely thrashed by 2 dudes after getting a rebound. That's how freaking pissed off I am right now. Bam jumps into Paulo. Yeah, he went vertical, but he jumped into him vertically, missing that one. Yep. And then the charge that they called on Markelle Fultz, Strus was moving his upper body.
His bottom foot was actually sliding in as they were making contact with each other. So, I mean, I've seen them not give those calls to Moritz when he does that same exact thing, where his second foot is still moving. So that's exactly what's happening here. But
I mean, we gotta blame ourselves a little bit, though. We were yelling at the screen, and you led the charge on this, that we didn't challenge that the call on the charge against Jalen Suggs.
Bam jumped around him. The 2 men never contacted, and they called a foul. And it was it only resulted in 1 made free throw for Bam, but it put him on the line. And it was just
well, that's the difference in the game right there. Then
we
only needed 1 point.
Yeah,
at any point in this game.
That just, to me, in a more overall point, the NBA needs to look at their challenging thing, because people aren't as free to challenge things because you only get the 1. If you get the 1 and you get it right, you should get another one, because you're correcting the mistakes the referees have made, right? I could see if you don't get it, obviously you lose a timeout and there's some sort of penalty and you don't get to do it again. That's fine. But if they miss 3 calls in a row and you challenge it 3 times in a row and you're right all 3 times in a row, keep the train rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, to a certain point.
I get that it slows the game down, but
Right.
these refs need to be held accountable. And if they're screwing up, then the team should be rewarded for pointing that out and doing the right thing going forward. But obviously that's not the rule here. So it puts a team in a weird spot when there's a bad call like that, because you kind of want to go, well, I want to challenge it, but if I lose it now, it's too early in the game, or like it's just it's not really as helpful as one would think it would be.
And, I mean, it's tough to cry foul on this because you look at the box score and we got to the line the exact amount of times where we were 18 of 23 from the line. They were 21 of 23. They shot really well from the line. You got to give them credit there. And, like, I mean, as much as I want to say the refs gave this away, like, we also gave this away with costly turnovers. I mean,
Sure.
There were just Markelle at the end going up. Maybe there was some contact, but he threw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. There were so many good things that I wrote down here, too. I wanted to make fun of the Miami Heat jerseys looking like a ransom note.
Well, they're still bad. Those are bad. Those are probably some of the worst jerseys that have ever been made. And it's all based on some jerseys that are actually good. They like took parts of some of the jerseys they've had in the past and put them all together. But the guys' numbers aren't even the same. If you got a 2-digit number,
yeah,
the numbers aren't even the same. It's hard to read. If somebody has one of those white numbers, it's like you can't even see it. The refs must hate these jerseys.
Well, they loved them tonight because the calls at the end of the night went their way.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks, man. I'm going through my notes here. I'm saying I'm looking in the first half and the team is smiling. Guys are making jokes.
Right.
I'm thinking, man,
we were up 17 at one point.
This is
Suggs
the energy
playing well,
we need.
hit
We're
a bunch
about
of
to go.
threes.
Yeah, we're going 2 in a row. Everyone's having a good time. Yeah, Suggs was on fire in the second. He hit 3 threes in the second. There was a series that he hit a 3. He had a steal. He led the fast break, and he ended up finishing at the rim.
He had 4 steals. He had 3 blocks, my guy. This dude was
What was his stat line?
14 points, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 4 steals. 3 for 4 from 3.
On 5 of 7.
Yep. He played nice. That's why it would have been nice to be able to see some of our bench guys get back in there.
Yeah.
But at that point, the ship had sailed and we were back with the starters. So, and yeah, it was just a weird ending. You're right. The refs weren't alone. The Magic opened the door for the Heat to walk back through and take this game a little, but there still should have been enough done down the stretch to win that game. Part of it is that the Heat has played a lot of big-time games, a lot of close games, and they have the experience, and they definitely look calm and cool and collected down the stretch, which you could definitely tell.
Yes.
And we weren't.
Yeah.
But regardless, a foul is still a foul, whether one team looks erratic or not, and things need to be called properly as we go through the games. But it's a learning experience for our young team that sometimes it's not – you got to play better to not let it get to a point where – you open the door for these teams to take those victories like that.
And we did look a little bit like deer in the headlights at the end. We started falling into some of our old bad habits. Mm-hmm. We saw us sinking into the paint, 2-3 guys sinking into the paint when someone is driving, and you saw many more open threes in the corner. I can't remember how many near side open 3-point shots we saw from the Miami Heat in that second half.
I'm done watching Gabe Vincent and Max Strus kill our team. I'm done with it. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, and it's so much worse when it's the Heat and you're hearing the "Let's Go Heat" chants. And you're knowing those smug bastards are in there, and you're just it makes it so much more painful because I mean they came into the league the same year as us, or a year after, right around the same time, year before. So it's like, but they own Florida right now, and that's. Thank you, LeBron and those D-Wade teams and all that. But we needed to, get this win. We need to get some wins now to let other fans know that it's not going to be a win when you buy that ticket.
Right.
So you may want to double think spending that $100 to see your team come and get an L.
I agree.
But when things like this continue to happen, next year is going to be a little bit of the same story.
Right.
It would have been great to have a 12-point win on this and never make it close and see the Heat fans leaving early and then not coming back next year. But, this is, the guys have to step up here and shut teams out like this. I do want to talk. Can we talk about something fun? Can I get my mind off of this shit for a second?
Yeah. Talk about whatever you want.
Can we talk about the bottle sniffing?
Oh, yeah, what's going on? What's going on the Orlando Magic bench?
Yeah,
What are those guys sniffing in this bottle? Like, I've had a smelling salt before.
Right.
Yeah, they'll get you. And I mean, if you're going to ever try one and you haven't, by the way, make sure that it's a little underneath your nose. Do not go take one of those big, healthy whiffs.
No.
It will knock your ass out.
I imagine it's something like that.
It's got to be something like that, but like I could see a player maybe sniffing it, but the coaches were passing the bottle around. And it's like, you guys don't need to be that amped.
Yeah, hey, Jesse Mermace, that's your fourth hit, bro. Yeah. Pass the doobie, bro.
Or a guy with a 5-head who checks on when we should replay
Dylan Murphy,
stuff.
bro.
Maybe he should have been hitting that
Dylan
bottle.
Murphy.
He must have passed.
He was ecstatic. He was emphatically calling for that challenge on Markelle.
Right.
And there was contact, bro.
I wonder if for some, I mean, you got to think that the guy that's in charge of that knows the rules, but I get why you'd want to replay it if there was a possibility of them calling the actual foul they missed on Wendell, but we know that's not the case. God forbid they actually look at the play and then just make the right call. Because there was no foul call there, they can't challenge that. They challenged the foul which was really dumb because it was enough of a foul that they weren't going to overturn it.
Right. I mean, anytime there's contact, they're not going to overturn it,
right.
Even if it's not really messing up the play or anything. Let's see. What else do I have here? I wanted to hear some German from Moritz on the mic'd up tonight. I don't know if we missed it because we were doing some fast forwarding action.
I think there was some we may have missed, yeah.
Yeah, because I would have liked to
hear also said he swears a lot, so
right.
It's possible some of the stuff he was saying couldn't be used.
I think a lot of this stuff probably couldn't be used. It's tough. It's tough. I'm just hoping when we go down there in less than 2 weeks, Piche, for Court Cousins night, Thursday, February 23rd, we put the whooping down on the Detroit Pistons and we don't let them up. There have been some lower bowl seats now released for Court Cousins night. We're all sold out of the club level seats, so thanks for getting those tickets. But feel free to jump on board and get the group discount for lower bowl seats. You'll still meet up with us before. We might meet up at halftime and afterwards. We've got jerseys to give away, all types of Magic paraphernalia. It's going to be a great time, so we hope to see you there. Fivo.me/Court Cousins.
Paulo had 13 rebounds tonight. If you're looking, I mean, we already talked about how great Suggs was off the bench. Also, Moritz, 14 points in 21 minutes. I thought he played well off the bench.
But if I may interrupt you, though, Paulo and Franz have to play better. 6 of 16 from Paulo and 4 of 15 from Franz. Those are not the guys that we know. They've looked a little out of sorts for the past 3-4 games now.
Right. I almost wish they weren't going to All-Star weekend.
Yeah, I'm hoping
need a break.
I'm hoping being around those, those All-Stars will kind of let them look around and say, "Oh, I belong here.
Yep.
I'm a guy," and let them come back with that swagger that gives them some more juice for the last 30 games of the season.
Yeah, there's still
games.
enough time off that even though they'll be that game that they should be. This will be a good rest point for most teams.
Yeah, I mean they're going to play one game, and I just hope being in that atmosphere gives them a little bit of a boost. I got one more thing. I got one more gripe here, Piche, if I may.
Sure.
There was a gentleman sitting behind our bench.
Oh.
Swaggy throwback Magic jacket.
Right.
Looking good, sir. Underneath that, a T-shirt, Seattle Supersonics green.
Bright green, yeah.
Which I know you hate because it's clashing. It doesn't match at all.
Well, yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
You're not a fan of that.
I do enjoy the Sonics, kit.
Sure. Nice. But may I remind you, sir, that our number 1 draft pick has a soft spot in his heart for his team, Seattle. Are you trying to remind him that he's in Orlando, hearing Miami Heat chants and seeing the Seattle Supersonics when an expansion team is probably going to open up in a couple years, sir? What exactly are you trying to do, sir?
That guy might be from Seattle, and he's just a fan of the Magic because of Paula, so... He could be tampering.
Stop with this rational speak over here. I'm pissed, and I'm blaming it on that guy, whoever you are.
He shouldn't be mixing those two color schemes. That's a big no.
Okay, so we can agree on that at least.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't help but notice this guy.
Yeah.
I noticed stuff behind the bench. If a shirt's unbuttoned a little too far or something like that, I see that stuff. I see the guys in the new swaggy stuff sitting behind the bench, and I always check on the big guy at the end of the bench and see what he's wearing and who he brought to the game. I'm always looking at the crowd and looking at other stuff.
Big guy that sits near the bench, you know who you are. If you watch this, Pish wants to be your new best friend.
Yeah, I want to know what he does for work.
Yeah.
Can I work for him? I have quite a skill set.
Yeah. Oh, so
You'd
many.
be impressed with all the things that I can do.
Most electrifying man in
ice
business.
entertainment.
Blank business. Insert business name.
Sure. Yeah, right. I've mostly been in the ice and arena world, but I can step out.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like the kind of guy that might have an ice rink in his backyard. If he is, I can help you.
You can live in the pool house. You'll get good.
He probably goes to Solar Bears games too. I don't know.
Hey, and you know, it was a crappy way to send off T. Ross too. You know, T. Ross torch, salute, sir. It was a good 7 years.
Still listed on the.
Actually, it wasn't really a great 7 years, but thank you.
Still listed here, yeah. He had some moments that were good.
Yeah.
Probably I missed most of them.
I mean, that was that sugar high, as Weltman liked to say, getting in the playoffs for that couple years. They were solid teams, and T. Ross as a sixth man, he'd be playing in the fourth quarter. We would go to him if we needed a bucket, and he would get it. There'd be times when he heated up, and just as a guy in the Magic community, having the podcast,
Yeah.
you know, kind of, I don't want to say leaking, but being honest about what was going on in the team.
Sure.
It was great to have him around, and he really enjoyed it, seeing being a part of the Magic community. So in that respect, we're definitely going to miss you, Terrence.
Yeah, he definitely seemed like a personality that you would definitely enjoy hanging out with.
Yeah.
And he seemed great for the community, which is awesome. I personally definitely liked what he was as a human being off the court more than I liked him on the court.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's what really matters at the end of the day. So.
And now we have 2 roster spots. So it'll be interesting to see
A
what
T
we're
roster
gonna do.
spot.
Yeah. Okay. I wish I had my.
Woo, dads loved that one. Tell your friends.
So what will we do with those 2 roster spots? Are there buyout guys
I
like to
don't
bring
know.
in a veteran? Are we
Yeah.
going to sign like one of
That's
the G
weird.
League guys to a 2-way? Have we already signed our 2-ways? I don't know how the
I think we have
work.
the option of signing our 2-ways to full,
To full.
and then we could have other 2-ways.
Yeah. So are we going to do something like that? Reward those 2-way guys? I mean, Admiral and Kevon have played a lot more than a traditional 2-way player would
Yep.
be playing. So are we going to give them a thank you deal here for the end of the year, and
Could
then
be.
try to get a couple guys some other looks just at the end of the bench? Who knows? What do you think we're going to do with that? Yeah. But we've got now Monday. We got some big ones coming up, because these are teams that we're really chasing. If we're going to be serious about trying to get into this play-in, it sucks that we let this one get away, because damn, had it right in our grasp and it just slipped away. Now we've got Chicago on Monday and
Toronto
on Tuesday. Those teams have both been winning basketball, so
the break.
it's gonna be tough, but hopefully we can get at least one of them.
And coming up during that break will be show 39.
Yes.
When we will be giving away tickets to Court Cousins night. And
we gave them away on. Oh well, yes, you'll find out who won from 38. So if you want to get entered in that, go back, watch episode 38.
Find out how.
Yeah. All right, I won't tell you. You're right. No, you got to go watch the beginning of episode 38 to figure out how to win 2 free tickets to Court Cousins night. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep and put this one behind me, Peach.
Okay, I'm gonna stay up and eBay stuff.
Peace out. Let me get one of those donuts, please.